We have a series of stunning photos here that are showing what's going on in Venezuela as the lights continue to be out in the city. And when the sun goes down, these areas become ghost town after ghost town after ghost town all over the place. Especially Caracas, that they're saying was dangerous as it was before this went down. Now they're saying it's extremely dangerous, as very few businesses are open. Obviously, no public services are functioning and opening the right way. No bus lines, no train transit. The electric is shut off. And this presents no-go zones in these areas under this darkness. And what's crazy is they start to explain the details of all this in some of these headlines, and you have to use discernment when going through all this information that the mainstream's pumping out there, because it's all put out there with what they want people to see, how they want them to view it. But in this instance, these people have gone some time now with no power, and just after 4 days, that's when the gunshots started ringing out. This is when people started taking to the streets. There is Los Colectivos, I believe they call it, a group of citizens on the ground that are riding around on motorcycles, and they back Maduro, just like the military does. So what does that tell you? Now, of course, there's conflict and everything on the ground, but the hope is, for the West, is that the people get tired. They tire out. This is what this is all about. They want to get the people tired out, sick of living like this, and then when they finally say enough is enough, it's Maduro's fault. They're not doing that at this point. Some are, but not a whole lot. They see what's happening, another country trying to come in. And they would rather deal with their own issues on the inside than allow some foreigners to come in. You see? So they're all sitting there in the dark. We're talking, I don't even know how many days now. We're going on weeks now that they've been in the dark in certain areas. They explain that when this attack was initially launched, that because of the failing infrastructure, like here in America, when they tried to bring it back online, it caused cascading failures in different areas. It overloaded them. Could happen here. We have a very miserable infrastructure system set up here in this country that one EMP, CME would wipe it out. Where are you going to get your parts from? Oh, 6 months from who? China? Is this a joke? Well, this is where we sit. And as you watch the United States and its members like Rubio tweeting out moves, threats, following blackouts like this within minutes, it shows who's connected. And look at Sudan, that Bilderberg targeted as well on its list. They have protests in the streets, and the lights went out today. Ladies and gentlemen, you have two countries. Your mainstream evening news is not talking about this, so people are not going to talk about it at work. They're not going to talk about it around the dinner table. It's up to you to shed some light on it, like we are here now. You have two countries, Venezuela and Sudan, that were both on that Bilderberg list, that are sitting there with protests in the streets to overthrow the regime that's there in power, and the lights are out. You better learn from others' mistakes while you can. We're going to talk about this more, this exact setting, because this is a true survival setting. We talk about it all the time. When the lights go out, well, if you want to get a taste for what's really going on, then I suggest you look into these situations further and see what's really happening on the streets down here and how quickly things come unraveled. And it's still a day by day. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, guys. I'm going to leave a link below. I will update with more as I come across it. It's been Dabu7.